morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Games. My name is Jason.
Hey, this is Alex.
And today we are going to talk about the long anticipated Metroid Dread. We have now both played it quite a bit. You're quite a bit farther than me, but I think I'm probably about halfway through if I had to guess. What are your original or first thoughts?
All right, so I'm like 7.5 hours into this game, which from what I've read, I guess I could have beaten it by now if I knew what I was doing the whole time. But from what I've read, like some people have beaten it in like 5 hours and some are closer to 10. It all just kind of depends on how good you are and how quickly you pick up like on Metroid itself. I am loving this game so far. It's exactly what I wanted a new 2D Metroid to be. The art style is very slick, very cool. It's kind of creepy with the Emmy robots. So the title of Dread is fitting, I think, for the tone of the game. It's really fun. Like, that's the biggest thing for me, is that the game is just really, really fun to play. So yeah, I absolutely love it. What about you?
Yeah, I'm like thoroughly impressed in like so many ways. Obviously, like I was expecting it to be good. I was hoping it was going to be good. The reviews came out; they were all good, but it's better than honestly what my expectations were. I think the main thing is just how like smooth it is.
Yeah.
Like I had played Samus Returns on the 3DS, and I wasn't as high on it as some people were. I thought, but a lot of that is because it was a remake of the second game. Like it was pretty, samey, I guess. Like no matter where you went, it all kind of felt like you were in the same. So I was a little worried that was how this was going to be. And in Samus Returns, that counter where you you counter him and hit. In that game they encouraged you to do it like for every enemy. So like anytime an enemy spotted you, they like came at you. So I was a little nervous they were going to do that again. But this is, in my opinion, this is like light years better than Samus Returns to me. I just think it feels good to play it. Like it just is so smooth, and I love that. I don't know, and I could be wrong here, but I don't know if there's ever been like a 2D Metroidvania game that feels AAA. I don't know, There could be, but this one feels AAA. Just everything about it, like the cutscenes, just like everything. I don't know, everything. It just feels like there's a lot of money behind it, and Nintendo's polished it like, their main series that they normally do. Like Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, they had this polish to it, like they always do, and this feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, obviously, I think we'd catch some flack if we didn't say that Symphony of the Night feels like a AAA Metroidvania,
yeah. Sure.
But that's back in the PS1 days, so, I mean, it definitely feels AAA. There is, it does run at 900p when it's docked, so there, it's not like, this isn't like a technical powerhouse of a game, but the sound and sound design is really cool. If you have like a sound bar with a subwoofer or like surround sound or something, or you're playing with headphones, like it sounds really good. So that's cool. And like you could tell the polish is there with that. Everything feels great. Like the game is pretty seamless. Like when you boot it up, there's no logos. It's on. It says Metroid Dread. You hit start. You're in the game in a matter of seconds. And then as soon as you're in the game, the only loading screens that I've encountered so far are when you travel between areas, like when you're in an elevator or on one of those like space gondola things that like takes you from area to area. And I actually like those moments because it just shows Samus sitting there.
Yeah.
And I like picture her thinking like, oh, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? This fucking sucks. So I like those moments. They like disguise the loading screen as like a story beat. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to think like what we can talk about without, obviously we're not going to give any spoilers or anything like that.
We got to go spoiler free.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much from the get go, like just like the small, like Metroid's never had like huge story elements, but there is a story, and the just from the start of this one, like those 5 minutes are not even of story. It was just like, oh, all right, this is gonna be awesome. Like I got that immediately.
I mean, Fusion is super heavy story.
Yeah,
and I never played Other M, and I heard that's basically all story and
yeah,
like little gameplay, but. Yeah, this game is heavy story. There's some really great cutscenes that I've run into that are like, oh my god, I just want to see more of this, which I'm not usually the person who is like, who like loves video game storytelling, but this one I really like. I think they did a really good job with it. The characters are cool and well designed. And yeah, I want to know what happens next, so.
Yeah, I also think that you're getting like one thing that's really cool is that you're getting upgrades and like new, powers and stuff a lot. Like it's pretty consistent. I'm surprised how I don't like because it's it's every time so that they have the normal where you can like get them, you just get a new item where they're like holding it, those the statues are holding them, but then you also get them when you beat an Emmy, and I think you get them when you beat bosses, and I'm not sure about the bosses, but like every time you beat an Emmy you get power as well, so it's like it's pretty consistent. You're like, oh, I just got, because I was just playing earlier and like I got one power, and like pretty quickly within like an hour of me playing, 45 minutes maybe, I got another one. Yeah. Like, oh man, now there's just so many new places I can go.
Yeah, you definitely unlock, like, it's interesting how they decided to dole out the power-ups, because you get them kind of rapidly, and there's a shitload of them. Like, yeah. I keep getting power-ups, and I think I'm done, and I just keep getting them. I'm like, oh my god, there's more. There's like stuff I didn't even expect here, and I'm not gonna list them off because I don't want to spoil anything. But sometimes when you get one, it could be like, oh god, now where do I go? Because it's definitely very open, and there's not a lot guiding you, like where to go next. But I kind of have found I just got lost for the first time in this game.
Oh, today. I've been getting lost like nonstop.
I don't know how. I've just been like, when I get an item, I just keep moving, and I like run into a cutscene, and it's like, oh, I'm where I'm supposed to be. But today, like when I've been playing today, I got an item recently, and I have no idea where to go. I'm in like the 6th or 7th area, no clue where to go. I'm just like squinting at the map, trying to find the gray areas that I haven't been to yet, and it's been pretty challenging.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been getting lost a lot. I think what it is that when I get something new, my first instinct is to like immediately look for, open up the map and look at places that I can go with it that I, couldn't go before. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm like overdoing that, where I'll get something new, I look, and the first place I see is like way back, like 3 areas before, and I'm like, oh, let's go back there.
Oh, you go all the way back.
Yeah. So I'm like going all the way around all the time, and then I end up lost because I'm just like, wait, I don't even remember like where.
Where was I going?
Yeah, because I don't remember where I got that. So then it's like I don't even know where I started with that power up, which is probably I just need to go somewhere around there. But it's happened multiple times. I think I'm lost right now. Wherever I am. I don't mind it. I like it. It's never been like I've been lost for too long.
Yeah. It doesn't take, if you get off track or you feel like you're off track, it doesn't seem to take too long. At least, well, actually for me right now, I'm having a hard time figuring out what the hell to do. But most of the time, if you, like, because I've had feelings like, oh my god, I feel like I'm lost, but I just kept moving, and like 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. So there's not, like, when we say lost, I don't think you mean, and I know I don't mean like that you're just lost, and it's like hours of trying to like find your way back.
No. I usually can figure out where I'm supposed to go, or at least find new areas that I can use my like new ability. So even if that room that I end up going to isn't necessarily the one that furthers the story, I'm still like finding new places, even if that's just like missile upgrades or like things like that. I will say, I think, I'm trying to think. I would say the only thing I'm not crazy about, and it's not terrible at all. I feel I wish that there was like I wish there were toggles on the map, because the map is really, really like when you get something, it stays there. And like if you get like a missile upgrade or something, it's that item stays on the map, and it's just like when you highlight it, now it says like acquired or like used or something like that. So there's just a lot of stuff all over the map. I don't know. I wish I could. I don't know. I just feel like the map's a little bit cluttered. But it's not like it's a big deal.
When I look at the map, it's overwhelming at first, but when you start using the cursor to like highlight icons and things on the map, I feel like it's pretty easy to like understand what's being shown to you. But looking at it as a whole is definitely, it's like, oh god, there's a lot on here. There's a million little icons and logos, and like I don't know what all this shit means. But if you like take a minute and just look around, it eventually you get to a point where you're like, I know exactly what this is, and I know what this is. And they give you markers that you can use, like different colored markers, similar to like the Breath of the Wild map, where you can just like place them around and use them to like remind you of where something might be. Like if you find a door that's locked that you don't have the weapon to open it with yet, you could like throw a marker on it and go back and like you'll know exactly where it is as soon as you open your map. But you can also there's a mini map in the top right of the screen, and you can make that larger by pressing left on the D-pad without having to go into the main map mode. And that's actually,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, they don't tell you that. But that's actually super helpful, so you don't have to constantly go into the like the main start menu map.
Nice. Let's see.
Do you think this game is too hard?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, that's actually where I was gonna go next. Because some people have been saying that. Some people have been saying. Here's the thing. I just don't. I don't like. I think it's perfectly difficult. Like it's like. First off, I want a game where I die a bit. I want some challenge. But like they're so generous. They're really generous with the checkpoints. So it's like anytime I die, I usually start pretty close to where I just died.
Yeah. So like if you go, I don't think this is a spoiler, but if you die from an Emmy robot, you restart at the door into the Emmy zone. So it's like, it might take you several tries to like get through the area, but you're not going to have to backtrack really far to like get there again. So that's kind of where they help you out with that.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people talk about this, but I think it's awesome with the Emmys when if they catch you, how like there's that chance to counter it.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely no pattern to like how it's gonna do it.
It's random.
It's random, which is awesome because like that way you can't master it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's great because that makes it more like realistic in a sense, I guess, where if that was real life, you wouldn't like it's not gonna attack you at the same amount of it's just random. And they say like right at the beginning, they're like, it's a 99% chance that you'll die if they catch you.
Yeah, they like give you a percentage, which I thought was really cool. It, like really, they really harp on like, if you get caught by an Emmy, you're just fucked. Like, and that's pretty much true. I've been able to hit the counter, I think maybe 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 15 times that I get caught. It is really hard to do, but it feels amazing when you do it. Like you're like, oh my God, I got him. Yes. And then you could like, I'm not going to say, but like it just leads to fun platforming moments in this game.
Yeah. It's great. And I will say I was a little worried like before it came out, like how much the Emmys would play a role. Like I was worried that I knew it wasn't going to be like they're there the whole game, but I was thinking, I originally was thinking like, okay, maybe like, there's one in each area and maybe it'll be like I was expecting it to be like a quarter or like a half of like the area is an Emmy. And it's really not. It's like a pretty small, I mean, I don't know, it's probably like a sixth of the map or something is an Emmy zone or something.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that it's like it's not a huge part of everything. It's just it still stays true to just like normal Metroidvania stuff.
Yeah. So like kind of comparing it to the SAX villain from Metroid Fusion, there would be this Samus clone who's like infected with the X or whatever, and she would just show up at random, and you didn't really know when it would stop chasing you until it just stopped. It's not quite like that. I think the Emmys are still kind of terrifying, and they make these weird little beeps and boop sounds, and like they just they kind of remind me of those Boston Dynamic robot dogs that people always share videos of, like that are like going to be police dogs or whatever. Like,
yeah.
They remind me of like futuristic versions of those. So that's kind of terrifying. But they're like they show up but you're in their zone, and like there's a zone door, so you know exactly when you're safe from them and when you're in danger from them. And they get harder. Not to spoil. I don't know if I'm spoiling too much.
No,
but they get harder.
Yeah, for sure.
Like even as you get stronger, the enemies also get stronger. This game. All right, so we were talking about like the difficulty. I don't think developers should be forced to like put a baby mode in their game or anything like that. I think if they want their game to be super difficult and challenging, that's up to them, and they should be allowed to do that. This game is so hard at times. It reminds me of like Cuphead. Like like the bosses in Cuphead where you have to watch the enemies firing while also trying to hit them. Like I felt myself like I was using those same like motor skills as I would use playing Cuphead. Yeah. Like there gets to be a ton of shit on screen, and you like trying to dodge and fire at the same time. It like draws out the boss battles and makes them super difficult. And same with the Emmys. Like there will be times where they're chasing you, and there will be like a super long like platforming section where you just have to run and jump and like slide and what do they call it? Spark, whatever, jump, shine, whatever. There's some term for that shit, but it's just it's really difficult, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is fun when an Emmy sees you and you're just running from it. I'll kind of be running and just be like, oh god, I hope I'm not going the wrong way. And like it's like, oh no, like I don't know. I just run for my life, and I'm like, oh, I probably missed a door, and like, but it's awesome. It's really fun.
Yeah, that's true. When you are running from them, it gets more tense, not just because you're like running for your life, but also you don't know which direction you're going.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I also just want to add. Let me talk about for a second. I also have got the OLED. Just to change on. I'll only talk about it for just a couple minutes. It's like
give us the review.
Yeah, it's 100% an upgrade. It's like weird. It's first off, the screen's definitely better. You can 100% tell immediately. I put on my old one. I like went back to it just for a second, and now it's like it's so noticeable that it's a worse screen. But honestly, that's what it's like. The whole thing is it's advertised about is the screen, and it definitely is better. It's definitely brighter. It pops way more. But like, there's other things that are different, and I can't figure out what it is. And I've like looked at other people. Some reviews have mentioned it too. It just like feels more
like better built.
Yeah, it just feels better. Like in my hands, it feels like a better material. Like I feel like it's like not the same plastic or something. It feels like, first off, you know how like when you have it in handheld, also the like Joy-Cons kind of like are a little bit like wobbly when they're attached. It's not really. They're pretty tight now.
Nice.
They don't wobble. Yeah, I don't know. It's not anything crazy. Again, like I would 100% agree with what most people are doing in the sense of if you if you play it mainly docked, it's probably not worth it. Like it's not like this insane upgrade. But it's definitely an upgrade. I can 100% tell that it is like a better Switch, and yeah, even just that screen being just a little bit bigger. It's not so much that the screen is bigger that is great, because it's not very much bigger, but it's just that because the, what do you call them, the borders,
the bezel.
Yeah, because there's no bezel, it just, I don't know, it just looks nicer. I never noticed. It's not like I was noticing the bezel that much before, but now I can notice once it's not there.
Now it's clean. It's like when the first iPhones came out that had the screen like to the edge of the casing or whatever. You're like, oh yeah, this is better. I'm not going back.
Yeah. So I really like it. I'm glad I got it. Again, I understand why people wouldn't. I pretty much solely play in handheld. I mean, I've been playing Dread on my TV, and I usually play like Zelda games, but like for the most part, I probably play 90% of the time in handheld. So I notice a huge difference. I'm glad I got it. So yeah, I would say if you have the money and you play handheld a lot, it's definitely worth it. But I also understand, like, it's definitely, like, you know, and they've said there's no performance upgrade. It doesn't seem like it's any that. Yeah, so it's still a Switch. It's not like it's any Switch 2 or anything. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. I do think it's looks a lot better. The colors are like, it's such a weird thing to be like, the colors are brighter. But it's very much noticeable. Like once you're playing it, I was playing Dread, and I'm like, I can tell, like, because it came a day later than Dread did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because for some reason Amazon, like, they were supposed to drop both Dread and my Switch on Friday. And they needed me to read them a code to leave the Switch. Like, it was like, you have to see the Amazon driver face to face and give them this one-time code. Otherwise, they're not going to drop it off, because it's like over.
Pain.
Yeah, because it's like $350 or whatever because of the price, they said. And I was not at home, so I didn't get it till Saturday. But so I first played it on the regular one, and then when I moved to the other one, I could definitely tell the difference. But anyways, that's enough. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, I mean, it's pretty sweet. I mean, I had my OLED pre-order. I had 2 OLED pre-orders up until I think I canceled them like October 3rd or 4th, because I was just trying to decide if it was going to be worth the upgrade. And honestly, I'm kind of pissed that I canceled both of them. But because I was playing handheld the other night, and I was like, man, this would be so sweet if I had the OLED. That was just in the back of my mind, because I've seen little movies of like people playing the OLED, and even on like a YouTube or whatever Instagram clip, like you can tell, like, oh, that looks way better than the OG Switch. Yeah,
like I don't know what it is. Like I really notice it in like the specific rooms in Dread where like the save rooms. Where it's like kind of black, and then there's like the yellow, I think it's like what do you call them, Chozo like statues or something. I don't know, but it's that contrast, which is what they've like kind of talked about. And when they try to talk about coloring, it's like when there's something black on the screen and then something colorful, it's like it's so dumb, but like the black is completely black and the colors are so colorful that it's like this huge contrast. I can just tell it like pops a lot more. And I just today was playing in where there's like an area where it's kind of like there's water under, not, it's like you're like in an ocean area. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like the 4th or 5th area, but yeah, I don't know. I just know there's just a few things where I'm like, oh man, that's really, really colorful. So yeah, if you like colors, get it. But But
Big color person, go for it. Drop your 350.
Yeah. I just have a hard time like being like, because like I do notice a big difference.
It does sound funny. Like,
Yeah,
but the
it's
colors
like,
pop. Like, well, no shit. Like,
yeah. I do notice a big difference, but I have a hard time being like, you gotta get it, because it's like it's not that huge of a difference.
It's a luxury item.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely a luxury item, and I also kind of justified it because I have been rocking the day one Switch, so this is also like improved battery and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. I think for people who haven't gotten the improved battery Switch, it's a much easier sell.
Yeah. But yeah, Metroid's awesome.
It's great. Just to talk a little bit more about it, one thing that I really like is, so I played Fusion not too long ago, and one of the complaints people have about Fusion is that it feels very sectioned. Like, you'll go into an area and complete everything in that area, and then you're kind of done with it. You might go back briefly, but it feels kind of like it's leveled off, like in different levels. Mm-hmm. This, I am finding that I go between the different areas like pretty frequently, and there's different. There's not like one way to get in and out of each area. So there's like, you're backtracking and moving around all these different areas a lot, and they all feel pretty different. So it's not like how you said in Samus Returns, or is the 3DS one Samus Returns or Return Samus? I can't ever remember.
Samus Returns is the 3DS one.
Okay, yeah. So how you were saying that feels like a very samey game.
Yeah.
Like, this one feels varied, like between the different areas, and I'm still encountering like new enemies like 7 hours into the game. So
yeah.
They really, Mercury Steam again developed this one, and they also did the 3DS one. Mm-hmm. It seems like this one they finally like made just an awesome game, and like I hope Nintendo lets them make more stuff for them, because they did a really good job.
I think that they will. I think I would bet that the Samus Returns was kind of a test for them. And again, I don't want to knock that game, because I know a lot of people really like that game, and it's pretty highly reviewed. I think it was more so that the bones they had to use it, it had to be based off that Game Boy game.
Yeah.
So it didn't give them a ton of room for creativity, and this is completely, they knew from the get-go it was going to be for the Switch. It's going to be original, and they knocked it out of the park. It's awesome.
One of my complaints for the 3DS Samus Returns was so that they had that counter melee move, which they like really wanted you to use frequently, and then like you also had to use the shoulder buttons all the time. And doing that on the 3DS hardware for me, I'm just a giant person, so like my hands on the 3DS, they like would cramp up after playing for however long, maybe an hour or something. And it made me not want to play it, because you just the way the controller scheme was, and trying to do that on the 3DS. But with Dread, playing with the Pro Controller, that's been how I've really enjoyed this game. Like, everything feels good. The button layout feels good. It takes like a minute, because it is a little more complex than like a normal game. But like playing this with the Pro Controller, hitting the melee is easy. It's not like a pain in the ass. And another thing about the melee is you don't have to use it by any means. Like, I forget about it all the time, because there's so many different power-ups to use. If you do use the melee counter, you defeat enemies much faster. Like, but if you don't, you could still get by like without using it. So they don't really like force it on you like they did in the 3DS game.
Yeah, I barely use it. There's really the only things I really use it on are the bat things that fly at you. Besides that, I don't really use the counter that much. I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah, really good game. I hope a lot of people play this game. I hope the difficulty level doesn't steer people clear of this game. I mean, everyone loves Cuphead, and that game is impossible. So I know they're completely different games, and there's different reasons to love them. But I really hope this game does well, and Nintendo continues making Metroid games, because 19 years between entries in the main storyline is just too long.
Yeah, and I think they will. I think this will sell enough that it will then, propel Metroid Prime will be next. Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
And so, Prime 4 is going to do better because of this. I've already seen tons of people saying, this is my first Metroid game.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I've seen a ton of comments on YouTube videos. So, and what a great way to start. I mean, it's great. It's very important that this is not only being marketed, it's that it's a good game.
Yeah. Like we've covered in other podcasts, like Nintendo has really like thrown the kitchen sink at the marketing for this game. Like they tweet about it every hour, it seems like. And they've done a lot of different trailers for it. So they're really throwing their weight behind Metroid, which is awesome. And I hope it, I mean, obviously the game's amazing, and hopefully those two things combined reflect in the sales for this game. I mean, sales don't have a bearing on it, it shouldn't have a bearing on whether you enjoy a game or not, but I think if this game sells like 5 million copies, that would be a home run for them.
Yeah, I think it will. I know we put up a poll about what people think, and I think most people were saying between 3 and 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna do better than that. I didn't vote, but I would have voted like 6 to 10 or whatever.
You didn't vote in our own poll?
Yeah, I would have said 5 to 10 or 6, whatever that one was. Yeah, no, I didn't want to skew it. I just think about like, I mean, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I don't know a ton about game sales, but I just feel like they're really, really pushing this one. And I mean, Luigi's Mansion did over 10 million.
That's the baseline of people on the Grub podcast, on GamesBeat podcast. They always say like Luigi's Mansion 3 did 10 million. So
yeah,
like
and I think the reason that's a good comparison is first off, that is obviously going to have a little bit of a head start just because it's Luigi. But I think the reason people say that is because it never did that well on that it was never a huge seller, the first two, and also like they've been marketing this more than they marketed Luigi's Mansion 3, I think.
I mean, so, yeah. I have never seen them market a game this much. Like even Zelda and Mario.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen how like the amount of stuff that I've seen from Metroid.
So yeah, if it can reach 5, which I think it will, they're definitely going to consider that a huge success, because then that's nearing double the highest selling Metroid game.
Yeah. So up till now, the best selling one was Metroid Prime at like, I think it was 3 million or 298.
It's like, it was right. Yeah. 298 or something like that.
Yeah. It's going to beat that. It just, the Switch effect and everything, like I think it's going to be at least 5. And then, like you said, we'll get the Metroid Prime remake, which is like super heavily rumored right now to be coming next year. And then hopefully the following year will be Prime 4, but obviously that could all change. But yeah, if you're in the mood for like a kind of spooky, really awesome Metroidvania, this is the game to play right now. It's just really good and really fun, and I can't emphasize enough how much I love it.
Yeah, and another thing I think that needs to be emphasized is that, we were never really on this. We never really agreed with this in the first place, but I did, when it was first announced, there were people talking about, is a 2D Metroidvania game worth $60? And like, this is a AAA game. I have to say that again. Like everything about it, I
this
understand.
This game is worth $100. No, sorry. I don't know about that.
I understand that it's like 2D, but it feels like it feels AAA. There's like cutscenes. There's you can just tell the amount of effort that's put into it and money that's put behind it. It's definitely a $60 game.
100%. There's even stuff like in the background. Again, I don't want to spoil, but like if you pay attention to things in the background, it can kind of help you figure out which way to go. Which is a little tip for people playing the game, but. It is 2D, but it's important to pay attention to the background. That's all my point was.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Anything else? I think.
I cannot wait to finish it. I have heard I accidentally, like a minute ago, right before we started this, I think I spoiled something for myself that like something you get when you complete the game. But now it just made me want to complete the game like even faster. So I think I'm gonna go try to do that when we're done with this. But
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's incentive to replay.
Yeah, definitely. I am, like I said, yeah, I feel like I'm probably about halfway. So I'm excited. I played it a lot yesterday. I played it this morning. I got something to do here, but when I get back, I'm gonna play it again.
No, you're gonna have to cancel that, whatever that is.
I'll definitely have this beat in a couple days here.
Are you playing anything else, or
No,
were you playing anything else before this?
Eastward, which I couldn't finish. It's a really long game.
Okay.
So I was trying to beat that before I started this, but I'm not even close. I'm still like I'm not even close yet. So I'll go back to that though. I'm still really liking that game. But no, it's all focused on Dread, baby.
Yeah, I gave up on Eastward after like 2 or 3 hours because I was like, I'm not gonna beat this game. So I just quit playing it. But
yeah,
I'll circle back eventually.
Yeah,
I played Tome for a while.
Oh yeah,
and then I got the Castlevania Advance Collection, and I beat Circle of the Moon. So that was awesome. I'm gonna go back and play the other two eventually when I get done with Metroid. And I bought Super Monkey Ball, Banana Mania, and I was really hooked on that. I was just switching between that and Castlevania until Metroid came out.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna get Super Monkey Ball. I haven't bought that yet, but I'll that'll be my next buy.
Monkey Ball, another game with just insane difficulty.
Yeah.
and again, I like it. I don't know what it is. Like there's just like the Kirby's and the Yoshis, they're fine, but they're just so easy. And there's other games too that I like every company puts out that are just really, really easy. And to get a couple games with some challenge in them, Pokemon. Pokemon's the big one.
Yeah, always easy.
Yeah, it's nice to have a couple challenging games.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't bought it, I think we both would highly recommend it. I mean, for me, I would say this is. I don't know. I don't want to make a early prediction, but I think it's probably up there with like the Mario's and Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. It's hard to put it on that level because those are like bigger games, I guess I would say. But like from the Nintendo's first party published games for the Switch, I mean, I would probably put this at 3. I think where I'm at now.
At number between after Breath of the Wild and Odyssey.
Probably. I'm trying. I mean,
wow.
What else has been?
Well, you're not a big Smash Brothers guy, but that would obviously be up there.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Smash Brothers guy, so I understand people would put that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's top 5. Definitely, yeah. It's incredible. Yeah, and I can't wait to finish it. It probably would. I mean, do you think it's like your game of the year so far?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think what else have I played this year.
Yeah, I feel like our votes. Like, I didn't play Hitman 3. I didn't play Psychonauts 2. I didn't play Ratchet and Clank. So I didn't play Deathloop. I feel like my vote carries no weight because I didn't play any of those top games, and I'm sure I'm forgetting another one.
Yeah, let me just pull out my Excel chart here of games beaten.
My game of the year is Castlevania Circle of the Moon.
Let's see. I have an Excel chart every year of the games I've beaten or have been playing. I don't know why I started that, but it's awesome.
Hey, I have a notes document in my iPhone.
All right, let's see. Yeah, I think that this is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the best game I've played this year. I'm looking at every game I played. I think so. Obviously, I liked Skyward Sword, but that was a remake or remaster.
Bowser's Fury is up there for me.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably my favorite game this year.
Yeah, and me too. I can't like it's not very often where I get a game and I'm like, oh my god, I got to stop what I'm doing and go go play this game.
Yeah.
It's more like I know what I'm doing in my free time. I'm playing that, but this one I'm like, I need to clear my schedule.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Cool. I gotta go get dinner with some people.
Nice.
Yep.
Dinner time.
So I'm out of here. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see ya.
We'll see you later.
Well, yeah.
Well.